Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we've talked about the concept of tests in pretty good detail, especially Ahl-e-Bait AS, how they're tests for the entire Ummah, they were and they are, and how we should act in order to prove ourselves different than how people have proven themselves in the past. And we've talked about A/B testing, how we have to apply our understanding in physical life. Now, one thing that I want to also talk about, because this is such an important topic, of test from a worldly perspective. And probably I won't do justice in this 5 minute, 5 to 7 minute discussion, but this is such an important topic because it is something that we experience every single day in our life. This is something that we endure, we experience, and we have to stand steadfast in these different tests because these tests prove our worth to Allah and will enable us to reap the right rewards. For example, Allah Ta'ala says that Al-Malu wa Banun Zinata Hayat Dunya, that wealth and children are attractions of this life. And Allah Ta'ala also says that we will test you with the loss of property, with the loss of wealth, with the loss of family, with the loss of health, and other things. At the same time, Allah Ta'ala mentions in Quran that we we are the ones who give izzah, and zillah. We are the ones who give life and death. We are the one who give sustenance. So on one hand, Allah Ta'ala is saying that we will give you all of these things. On the other hand, Allah Ta'ala is also saying that these are tests. And these are tests in two different forms. They're tests when you get the blessings of Allah, whether it is wealth, whether it is some other thing, whether it is health, whether it is the family, children. And they're also a test when they are taken back. So when you get this gift of Allah, the test is how you perform. Do you become arrogant? Do you ignore the bounty of Allah? Or are you thankful and are you more humble towards others who have or who don't have this bounty? And then when it is taken away, it's also a test that do you still are thankful to Allah? Or are you now more upset and hopeless and do not think about the bounty of Allah that Allah had given, or the hope that Allah can give it to you again? So this is the second concept of all the tests. And Allah Ta'ala mentions in Quran that the gifts and the bounties are from Allah, and the taking away of these bounties are due to the human actions. And Allah Ta'ala also says in Quran that if you say thank you, I will increase your bounties. So this concept, this is it's a very interesting formula, that if you get a bounty, whether you get a bounty or not, let's say you have something and you consider that as a bounty, your life is a bounty, my ability to speak, my ability to breathe, my ability to say thank you is a bounty. And if I get the bounty, I should stay humble and I should be thankful to Allah. When I'm humble, which is a test, being in this test, Allah will see my humbleness, Allah will see my thankfulness, and according to the promise of Allah, He will then increase the bounty and increase other bounties. And if I am not humble, or if I am less humble, and if I become arrogant, then Allah will take away that bounty. And so the more you get, the more humble you should become. The more humble you become, which means you're giving away more. You're helping people more. You're sharing more. You're being more kinder to your family. That increases the bounty from Allah. And as it increases, you become more humble, and then it increases more and more. And you're continuously doing the test. At the same time, at some point, Allah also says, do you think you will enter the paradise as is without being tested? You will be tested. So at some point, there will be a test, whether a loss of your income, your wealth, or your health, or something happens, even when you're all humble, that you might realize that, or Allah is just testing you to see that how are you performing in that situation. And that is again the point, that we need to always be thankful to Allah in all the situations. We need to always continuously work hard. We need to always be humble, because that is the good practice that the Prophet has instilled by the order of Allah. And that is the practical exam, the physical exam that we are undergoing every single day. And that test, once you're successful in that test, that will take us to the next level in the hereafter. And once we are doing that, then we realize that all the material attractions of this world, whether wealth, whether family, whether all the like health and other things, izzat and power and other things that come by the grace of Allah, are truly from Allah. So if they are come, you are humble. If they're taken away, that is a gift of Allah. That was a gift of Allah that He took away. Be humble. Be thankful that you're being tested, because not everyone is tested. People are being just are given the consequences of their own efforts. So that is an interesting aspect of being tested. And once you do all of those things, once you gain the marifah, that is when people can start defending or have the true courage to stand for justice, because they ignore all of the materialistic things, stand against injustice and defend the cause of Ahl-e-Bait AS. And once you defend the cause of Ahl-e-Bait AS, which is a difficult matter, it is not easy, because it comes with difficulties in this world, and in this world, especially from the materialistic perspective, because you have enemies. And that is when you gain true success in the test. And this is my opinion. May Allah help us to elevate and increase the cause of Ahl-e-Bait AS, بحق Muhammad wa Ali wa Fatma wal Hassan wal Hussein, and have us be successful in this life, in the hereafter. Wassalamu alaikum.